Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this custom coaster. This coaster is a cup of cocoa with whipped cream topping and it's made out of felt. You can download this pattern for free on my website, tiffanybliss.com. This is really a fun and easy project, so let's get started. First, we're going to cut out the teacup and handle. I'm using a deep red fabric for my teacup for the holiday season. Next, I added some ribbon to the top of the teacup. I just used some Christmas ribbon I had in my stash. This one's white with little gold stockings on the front. I used regular sewing thread to baste it in place. I added the same ribbon to the bottom and basted that in place as well. Then I used a simple running stitch at the top and bottom of each ribbon to sew them onto the cup. Next, I drew some simple stars on the front of the teacup. I'm going to use metallic gold embroidery thread to embroider the stars. But metallic embroidery thread can be a nightmare to work with. The metallic threads can separate, they get tangled, and sometimes they can break pretty easily. So this time I decided to try using beeswax to keep the thread together. I actually use beeswax all the time when sewing, but I've never tried using it on a metallic thread, so we'll see how this goes. In the meantime, it's time for me to grab an embroidery needle out of my needle book. This is the Chipmunk Sewing Needle Book I made in another video. You can check out the link to that video on screen or in the description box. One thing I noticed when I was embroidering the stars on is that there was a lot of beeswax flaking off of the thread, especially in the beginning. But luckily the flakes were easy to brush off, and so it wasn't a big deal in the end. Next, I basted on the handle piece and used 3 strands of matching embroidery thread to sew it on top of the cup. Then I used a back stitch and gold embroidery thread to sew a line down the center of the handle. Now onto the whipped cream top. I cut it out and drew on some shadow details. Then I needle felted off-white wool for the shadows and white wool for the middle. If you're not a needle felter, you can totally skip this step entirely or use off-white embroidery thread for the details. Next, I added golden pearl beads to the whipped topping for sprinkles. And I sewed the bottom of the whipped cream to the top of the cup. To hide the ugly side and to make this coaster a little more sturdy, we're going to place the coaster onto the other side of the felt sheet we used and cut around the whole coaster. Then just use a blanket stitch to secure the pieces together. I used matching embroidery thread around the cup and white thread around the whipped cream. And that's it! Now you have a fun and festive coaster for the holidays. But really, this can be used all year round. And if you wanted to personalize it, you could embroider the name of a relative or a friend in the center instead of stars and make this as a gift. Okay, everyone, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.